Alright, so we are going to start a new project. Let me just kind of make this properly. There we go. So we're gonna go. So this would be week 13. Alright, we have 13. Or let's have a project actually. Let's have a Tim Hortons bagel shop, something like that. So okay, so we have a project. We're gonna do one GUI that is some sort of a project. Let's say there's a coffee shop. They ask us to create a menu for their items they sell, and that the server can select from it. Says, okay, you want a bagel? What kind of bagel? Do you want a coffee with that? So what kind of coffee? Decaf, regular, or cappuccino, let's say, and then we're gonna have other stuff to add to it. Let's say you want a jam or you want a cheese or something like that to have a bagel with the coffee. So the person can actually type. We've seen that in Tim Hortons actually. They have a menu, they select from it, and some of you may work in Tim Hortons, I don't know. And then at the end they press the total, it shows you the tax and the total, and this is that much. So we're gonna create some GUI for that. That's what it is. The way we're gonna do, we're gonna separate each part of this menu to the separate panels, and I'm gonna create those panels separately in a form of class. And when I'm creating the whole thing, I'm gonna create object out of those classes, put it all together, and go. So whatever we're gonna learn how the panels and the classes work together throughout one project that we have. So this is our project. Just zooming a low, I guess that's you guys don't see. I think that's better, right? So let's start with let's have a greeting panel first. So we want to have a panel. The first thing we're gonna say is a greeting or something like that. So we're gonna create a new class, and we're gonna call that greeting panel. So for each panel, I'm gonna create a class. So keep everything separated. The good part is when you create it, you want to use it and you want to configure different menus, you can just take those different panels and put it together in a frame, right? So let's say greeting panels, and the greeting panels, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna extend that obviously from JPanel, and as you know, we're gonna import stuff to, there we go. So we need our swing, and I'm gonna import all of it, make it easy for everyone, and then simply I'm gonna have my constructor. So I'm gonna go greeting. So it has the same name as the class. This is a definition of constructor, and what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna have a parameter. So before I go forward, I'm gonna define the parameters here. Let's say private JLabel type greeting, right? JLabel is the class we're using for showing messages. We did this last time. So we're gonna define the parameter greeting to display. Oh, this is not Python. We're gonna display a greeting, and then we're gonna set that greetings to new JPanel, and let's say welcome to Tim Hortons. There you go, house, something like that. I'm advertising for them for free. And oh, I think I have a typo. This is not the J panel. It's still in the morning. This is a J label, right? So this is a label I'm creating. You guys recall label was something that you want to show a message on the panel using it, right? And then we are going to add that greeting. So that's it. So this is add the label to the panel. So when I'm calling this class, I'm creating the panel that has this message on it. So this is one of the panels. We're going to have multiple panels, and at the end of it, we're going to put it together on a window or the frame that it shows to the user. We did it all in one class, but this is a project. It has more part to it, so we're going to separate them in a different class. All right, so what else we need to calculate? Let's start with the bagel panel, I guess. The first thing we need to know is what kind of bagel a customer wants. So let's have another panel. Go Java class, call this bagel panel. So we're gonna go next or finished, basically. Here we go, zoom in. So this is another panel. We have the welcome panel. Now we're gonna have bagel panel. Same thing. We're gonna extend that from J panel because this class designed to create a Java panel here. And in this panel, we're gonna have two items, which let's say user, we can have more, but let's have two. Let's say white bagel and wheat bagel, something like that. You can add more if you like. You want everything bagel added there. I don't know what else is there. Sesame, something. I like everything bagel anyway. So we're gonna go have two parameters first. Public. We're gonna create. The user can select between these two. So that we have a selection. We're gonna use radio button that we did last time. So radio button is one of those buttons that you can select from. All right, let's do this first. So we're gonna indicate the cost first. So the following items indicates the cost of the bagels. And let's say we have two bagels, so we're gonna have white bagel. So the way I'm writing it, this is for the constant, right? Means these are finalized and nobody can change it anywhere unless you come here and change it. So the cost is something you don't want to mess with. Let's say it's $25, and let's have the cost of. So those would be the constant cost. You're gonna go wheat. That is obviously more expensive. Let's go $50, something like that. I think it costs more than that, right? Make $2.25, $2.50. Inflation, actually. So these are the costs of two bagel I have. Now I'm gonna create parameters to select, right? So we're gonna make those private. Those we're gonna use radio button as I discussed. Let's call this white bagel, and so this is for selecting. So these two buttons is to select wheat bagels, right? So we have these two buttons. If you recall, when you have radio buttons and if they want them to work together, we have to gang them or group them, right? So we're gonna have a group also. We're gonna go button group. Let's call it BG. And this is a radio button group. We don't want them to work separately. I want them to, when I select one, the other will not be selected on site. So just kind of alternatively select. Oh, I have a typo. Let's see what it says. So that's, oh yeah, triple T. Yep. Okay. So we have that. Now let's go create our constructor. So I'm gonna go public. Bagel panel, so same name as the class, obviously. And so we need to have some sort of grid for this. So this is a little bit different. Wait just a second. No, but a typo again. All right, there we go. Done. Okay, so we need to create some sort of the grid to put those buttons, right? There's a panel. We need to have a buttons. Basically, we're gonna create a grid layout manager. We did this before too, with 2 rows and 1 column. So we're gonna create a grid to manage those buttons. So we have buttons. We create 2 of them. They're kind of wanna group them. So we're gonna create them. We kind of gonna put them in a table, right? We wanna organize them. So we're gonna use something called a grid layout to do so. So we're gonna set layout, and we're gonna go okay. The layout should use grid layout with 2 rows and 1 column. So if you have more buttons, you can add rows to it, right? So let's say in the future you add another bagel. So we have 2 bagels. Let's say you add everything bagel or something. You can add everything bagel here and here, gang it with these, and I'll also add a grid to this to have more of it. So this is a grid, and what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna create my I think I'm gonna import that. Alright, so this is part of the there we go, AWT. So these are the 2 families we talked about last time. There we go. There's more modern layout there is. So we're gonna define our bagel now. We're gonna make the white bagel. I think it's better to use the make that the camel case. So we're gonna have a new J radio button, and this radio button gonna have a white and we're gonna have wheat bagel. Alright, so one of the things, okay, missing an L, missing semicolon. Alright, so one of the things you can note is when you have radio buttons, you can select or choose that button to be selected when you open the program or not. So at the beginning we have radio buttons, there's no selection, you go and select, right? But you can have a default selection. Let's say, okay, let's say we assume people usually select white, so we want to have a white, and we can add true here. It means, okay, I want the white bagel radio button to be selected, and the with bagel not be selected. I'll show you when I run the program how that works again. So the true indicates the button selected option. So when you open it, it be selected already. Alright, so we have these two buttons, nothing new here. Then we're gonna gang or group them. So BG equals to new button group. So this is a group. And we're gonna add those buttons to it, right? Alright. So we add those, and pretty much it. We're just gonna. Alright, so it would be nice. This is something interesting. This is called basically borders. So we can add a border because we are gonna have different panels. We want to separate them from each other. We can add borders to it to kind of shows the separation. So we can add the borders. So how do I do that? We're gonna set border again. So we're gonna call the set border, and there is a method from border factory. Alright, so here, since I have multiple, alright, what's the error here? Incompatible. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, so here we go. That's a problem. So we create title. Good. So here I'm creating a border with a title. So there would be a border around it with the title says bagel. Well, I'm doing this because I have multiple panels I'm going to add to, and I want them to be separated and easy to see. And that's it. Now, when you're done, you're just going to add Alright, so that is your bagels. I'm gonna add another method that I kind of gonna complete later, but you're gonna have a method called that basically get bagel cost. So we have the cost for them, right there. We should be able to access those since those are so let's say the cost equals to 0 initially. Okay. Public double get bagel cost. I think I'm out of the scope. No, it's okay. We need the return for sure. So we're gonna return bagel cost. What is the error here? Yeah, it was missing this parenthesis here. Here we go. That should be the close. So if White bagel is selected. So this is interesting. This method here tells me if there's a Boolean expression method which tells me that the button is selected or not. If it's selected, we're gonna set the bagel cost equals to white bagel. Alright, so what it is here is, so what we did, we create a panel. We have those costs. We have the ratio button for each of them. We have a group. On the constructor, we have it grid to grid it out. 2 rows, 1 column. We add those, we create those buttons. We set this by default true, means we select that one initially, so it's on the white bagel. You can switch it if you like. We're gonna group it. We're gonna add those to the group. We're gonna create the border around it with the title, and we're gonna add those to the panel. Also, we're gonna have a function that if the button white bagel is selected, is set the cost to 225, and if the wheat bagel selected, we're gonna select the cost or set the cost to 250, something like that. And that's it. So this is the next panel. Is something missing here? I think we have extra. Here we go. This is extra, and that should be okay. So let's save this. So now let's have another big panel. Let's say for the coffee, I'm gonna create a new one. So this would be coffee panel. So coffee panel is the same story. We're just gonna do it more quickly this time. To be extended from JPanel, we're gonna import it. Let's import all of it since I'm at it. So let's start with the costs. So cost indicators. So we're gonna have public, final, double. So we're gonna have no coffee. That's a selection because people might just wanna have bagels. So the no coffee cost would be $0, obviously. I'm gonna cheat hello and copy this, paste it. We're gonna have regular coffee. So that is what, $1.25, let's say. We're gonna have, let's say, decaf coffee. That's an option. That would be also $1.25. And let's have a fancy item on the menu. Let's have cappuccino. And that is, let's say, $2 sharp, or $2.25. Let's go $2.25. There we go. So $1 more extra. So these are the costs of the coffee. I have 4 items to select from. Let's also do radio buttons for that. So simply, I'm just gonna create radio buttons. So J radio buttons. So for no coffee, for regular coffee. For decaf coffee. For cappuccino, and I need to group them obviously. I think cappuccino is wrong. This should be you. Yeah. Cappuccino. There we go. So we need parameters for group them. So button group. Now we're gonna have a constructor. Obviously, I'm just gonna insert. Can't really do that. This is a no. Insert code constructor for these. So we're gonna make it quicker now using the insert button for all of those. We need a group, right? So we're gonna do that. That is awesome. Also, you can add your layout manager if you like, Java panels, all that. So let's just generate those. You think things become faster that way? No, that's what I didn't mean to. That works too, I guess, but no, we don't want to do that now. We're just gonna go with the classic ones. Let's just go with the no coffee. So this one, there is called none. There's no coffee, obviously. So no coffee, new. Okay, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. You don't want to have an input to this. So no coffee. New J radio button. This would be none. Oh. Close it. I'm just gonna copy and paste a couple of times, save some time here. So that would be regular coffee. And this one, we're gonna go regular coffee here. Yeah, assuming people select regular coffee on a regular basis, so we're gonna go true on that. So by default, the button will be selected on this one. We're gonna go decaf. And then we're gonna have cappuccino. All right, so those will be our panels here. So cappuccino, and that's it. So then we're gonna create our we're gonna use the BJ groups again to create a new group. So new button group. and we're gonna add all of them to. So we're gonna add the no coffee. Oh, it's already detected it. No coffee. Okay. Regular coffee. Decaf. Done. So those are add to the group, and then we're just gonna have a get coffee cost, right? So same thing as what we did with the bagel this time. All right. So let's say initial cost of the coffee to the 0, and the rest is just really easy. What we're gonna do is we're gonna say have some sort of decision making. We said if the no coffee is selected, guys, could you keep it quiet? Yeah, I know it's exciting, but so if we select the no coffee button, the cost of it, which we have here, will be 0. And similarly, we're just gonna go else if it cannot be selected at the same time. And the coffee cost would be obviously regular coffee. Okay. One more. I think there's 3 of them. Decaf and cappuccino, right? That would be no, that's the wrong one. There's the calf is selected. That would be decaf coffee price. And if cappuccino is selected, the price would be okay. And when you are done with selection, we're gonna return coffee cost. Alright, so by selection we return those as well. So we have rating panel, coffee panels, yeah, bagel panels, coffee panels, reading panels, topping panels. Let's have one more. And let's have another kind of buttons. Let's change the radio buttons to something else. Let's have topping panels, and then we add everything up, and we're done. Okay, so topping panels, we're gonna use something called a checkbox. So we're gonna extend that from from JPanel. Start with costs. I'm gonna go public. Final double. So cream, let's say cream cheese. If you want to add that, that would be 50 cents. Let's say butter also is an option. There's a peach jelly, not Jerry, jelly. Let's say that's 75 cents. And let's say blueberry. That is $1, something like that. Alright, so let's, for those also, instead of the radio buttons, I am going to create something called that Java checkbox. So you can check, because you can have multiple of those, not one. So the radio buttons we can select, the JBox you can have multiple selection. So let's do that. It's more suitable for our items. Maybe some people like the jelly with butter or something like that. Alright. So that's the JBox. Let's call it cream cheese. J checkbox. Butter. Or peach jelly. And then same thing, we're gonna have a constructor, so we're gonna go public topping panel, and I'm gonna set the layout. So we need grid for this, right? So we're gonna have 4 rows this time, so we're gonna go to new grid layout. So 4 rows, 1 column, and we're gonna go cream cheese. I think I have to import that. Yeah. So the cream cheese would be the new button. So same thing, but it's a different button, and we don't need to gang or group them. It's not butter, okay, no, this is E, butter. All right, and peach jelly. Checkbox. And what else? The blueberry jam. That will be set to new check. All right. We're gonna set the border also. Same thing. We wanna separate it. Check box. Set border. So we're gonna go border factory. There we go. That's a typo. Board there. Create title border, and we're gonna have topics. So we're gonna add those to the panel, and that's it. So we don't need to group them up. It's different buttons. Butter. Okay, and just the cost. I'm just gonna cheat a low and go copy that part. Where is it? I don't want to type it. So this is for the coffee. I'm copying it. Take it to the topping panel. So we're gonna have that. So here would be get topping cost. Just gonna modify that. It's easier that way. So that would be the topping cost. And the parameters would be cream cheese. And the cost of it would be, oh, so this is different. So the topics can be accumulative, right? So we're just adding that to the topping cost. Because the user can choose more than one. So it could be one, could be multiple. So this is that. And the butter, I'm gonna copy that part. What else? Butter, peach jelly. Oh, sorry, no. Here we go. And last but not least, blueberry jam. I think it would be easier to just type it and modify it. All right, and we're returning topping cost. Okay, I think I'm missing it. Alright, saved. So we have all the panels there is. The only thing is left is to create my order and get over it. Let's take a break. Then I'll come by and come after and just add all of those into the panel. Okay? Let's come back 10:15. Okay, so I created the topping panel, and I created the greeting panel, coffee panel, bagel panel, and these all panels that I needed. I just need to now have let's see what I need. So I just need to basically have the order calculator GUI now. So what I'm gonna have a Java class, call it order calculator GUI, and what it is basically you put all these panels together to create your GUI, graphical user interface. So obviously we're gonna extend this from the JFrame, and I am going to import those. So we need swing, and I'm gonna introduce, it's like an aggregated classes, if you recall. Each of those panels are the parameters to this class, right? So this is what we learned before, aggregation of classes. So you can actually define an object into another class. So this is bagel panel. So topping panel, which is I define, so we're gonna call this toppings. So that is your topping panel, and we're gonna have a coffee panel. Alright, so we're gonna have our greeting also. So those are all these classes I created for my panels. So I'm gonna have the greeting panels. Let's call it banner, something like that, to display greetings. And we need the button for this panel, so we're gonna go button panel, whatever you want to call it. So this is to holding the button. And we need another, we need the panel to hold those buttons. So we need a button that user select the items and press that and calculates the total, right? So we need a panel for that. So besides all those panels, we have extra panels for the button only, and we're gonna go private J button. We're gonna have calc or calculation button. To calculate the cost, and we're gonna have basically exit button. Well, we're gonna add another button to be fancy here to exit the application. We're gonna go with the Ontario tax here, so we're gonna have a tax. Obviously for calculation we need tax. Let's have a final variable tax rate and set that to 0.13% as Ontarians pay every day for sales tax in Ontario. Now let's go create the constructor. So we're gonna go public Gonna go order calculator GUI. And first thing, we're gonna create our window, right? So we didn't create any windows. This one create windows, add panels to. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna have a title for our window. We're gonna call it order calculator. So those are all regular things we do. We're gonna set the default. Oh, we have to import the AWT, right? So first of all, there we go. That's okay. Set default operation to JFrame dot exit on close. So this is indicates the exit button operation. We're gonna set the layout also. We need layout for this. Obviously there's a couple of panels, so we're gonna go new border layout. So this is your border management. So this is your create a border layout management. Border layout management. To manage our layout, and now we're just gonna, okay, so I think I need the AWT for that. That's true. So we're gonna set the banner first. We're gonna create new object out of those classes that I initially created. So we're gonna have a new greeting panel for my banner, and we need the bagels, which is a new bagel panel. So we're gonna have all that, and for toppings, obviously, we're gonna do new topping panel. Hey, how are you? All right. So these are the panels that I'm creating the object out of from those classes I created earlier before the break. And now I need now we're gonna go create the button panel, right? So nothing new here. So we're gonna go build button panel. So there is a method I'm creating here. I don't have it yet, but I'm just gonna create it later, right? So we can do that. We can create that method. Let's do that. Here we go. I'm gonna deal with it later, right? So we have a method to build that panel for the buttons, and when I do so, I'm gonna go add. So for the banner, we're gonna add that where? So we're gonna go with the border layout. So what is the border layout? Border layout has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 location, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. It has north, south, east, west, center. Is that 5? Yeah, okay. So we're gonna obviously set the banner to north. So we want the message to show on the top. What else? So let's put the bagels on the west, I guess. You can switch it, obviously. Whatever makes you happy. It's your design. West it is. What else I got? So let's have a topic. Let's have a topic right next to the bagels. So let's get toppings. And for the coffee, For the coffee, we should have it east, right? And for the button, yeah, potato, potato. South. Here we go. Okay. What we're gonna do, there's two things left if you recall. One, we don't have a size for our window, so we need to basically pack it. You can do that to the context we have, or you can set it by default. You know how to do that. And also, if you remember, each frame is not visible unless we set so, and we're gonna set the visibility. All right, so let's what else I'm gonna do is basically I'm gonna build my calculation. So let's just, before go forward, see what I created, the organization and such. Just gonna go to the Tim Hortons Bagel Shop, and here just gonna create the object out of the order calculator GUI. So let's run this, see what we can create it. Obviously I have errors. Let's see what it is. Okay, so the error indicates that here we have buttons, these parameters that we never set or define. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna build this panel anyway, and then I'm gonna run it. So we're gonna have a button panel. So this is creating a panel for the buttons, and we have two buttons obviously. So cal buttons for new, we're gonna use our J button, easy peasy, and we're gonna name it calculate. This is a basic button to select and click. And I think it's calc or calculation, right? What did I do? Yeah, okay. And there would be exit button. So those are the two buttons. And as usual, for those buttons, I need a action listener, right? Add action.
I don't know if that's the problem.
Oh, we're gonna create that. No. It is a problem. Yeah, I'll fix it. No worries. Programming with no problem is not programming at all. So these are we gonna create anyway. This is the same thing we did last time. We're just gonna kind of create those. You can right click and actually okay, so I'm adding the buttons. Oh, there is one S here. Okay, so what I did is I create these two buttons. I create the panel, create these two buttons, give them the action listener to do something, and there's two classes for that, which is I'm gonna fill it up in a second on the bottom, and then we add those to the panel. So this is ready to go. So that should fix our problem. So here we go. If you run it from the main, you can see you have your why can't I move this? It's just driving me nuts. Here we go. Oh. Alright, so if you run it, let's move it. You have, oh, one other thing missing, right? So you have the bagel, you can select. You have your topics. The coffee is missing, so I didn't add the coffee yet. These two also doesn't work. So let's go fix those. Back to GUI. I had the coffee here, didn't I? Alright, let me just continue to do the action and I'll go fix the button. So let's start with calc button. What do we gonna do here as action? Alright, we don't need that. Just need to set the action. We're gonna have subtotal for calculation, tax, and total. So the subtotal would be the bagels dot get the, we're calling those function that or the method we created for getting cost. Easy peasy. That's why they're public. Gonna get the toppings, get topping cost plus coffee dot get coffee cost. Alright, we have a bunch of errors. We're gonna follow up what it is. Alright, so these methods cannot be static because they're in the class and they're private. Here we go, now it's good, yeah. Because I automatically created it, didn't pay attention.
So that's a static problem.
Static it is. Alright, so that is the cost. Then let's calculate the tax, which is the subtotal. So tax rate. So that would be my tax calculation. And the total would be what? Your subtotal plus tax. Let's have a simple Java option panel to show the so we're gonna say, okay, let's go with the string format. We're gonna do come on, there we go. We're gonna do subtotal is percentage $ percentage comma 0 to F. So that's for separating the H3 digits and also 2 significant digits for your decimal system. Let's go to the new line and separately talk about tax. Tax also would be $ percentage comma 0.2F. Go to the next line. Let's have a total of $sign percentage. All right, almost there. So we're gonna have subtotal, tax, and total. Okay, that's it. And for the second one, let's have the, where's my exit? Here we go. This is my exit, right? So get rid of that. And for the exit, basically, we just gotta go system dot exit 0. That will exit the system. I think it's capital S, yeah. Okay, I think that's about it. One of the problem I had was, let me see there's no error here. Okay, so let's try it. Run it. So one of the things I don't have, I don't know why, is, oops. So white butter calculate. So the calculate works. Exit works. The only thing doesn't work, I don't have the third menu. I don't know why. Let's go figure that out. The thing I don't have is the coffee. So let's see what's going on with the coffee. Let's go to my GUI, find the coffee. Where's my coffee? So the coffee is here. It should be on the east. Okay, find the problem. We add those coffees to the groups, but we never did anything else. We skipped the. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna add those to the. So we're gonna forgot to do that. So we're gonna add the border to it. So it's a border. So we're gonna have a border first, coffee, and the main thing I forgot to do it in the class was adding those to a panel, right? So we're gonna add the no coffee. We grouped it, but I forgot to add it to the panel. So regular coffee. Decaf coffee. And cappuccino. Oh, typo again. Cappuccino. There we go. So we forgot to do that. That should fix the problem. Let's try it again. Run it, save it, run it. Yeah, the coffee showing up. So we can select the coffee now. Alright, I don't like the configuration. We should go change that. But let's say we have white, butter, and jelly, and regular coffee, calculate, and that 375. Is that what it is? Let's see. Exit. Okay, so one other thing I don't like, this is just like this, is in one row. So we're gonna do and add set layouts. And we're gonna grid it. Four rows and one column. So in that case, we have a better look. We need to import that. So let's try it now. Cancel that. Alright, so this looks better, right? So let's see the calculation work. So we have white bagel, let's say cream cheese and regular coffee. So white bagel is 225. It should be. Huh.
If you put two columns, you have automatically divide.
Let's try that. Good question. So he's for the coffee, right? So if you do that, I don't think it does, but no. Oh no, you said two columns. No, so it fills the first one, then it'll start the second. Unless you do this. So 2 and 2. So in that case, then yeah, like so divide. So if you want it like that, you should select. But first, if go to the column.
For example, if you put 3 and 2.
3 and 2, okay. So then one of them gonna go the other way. Okay, gotcha. Hurry. Oh no. Or maybe it's still running. Let's. So the calculation is fine. So the white bagel is 225. The regular coffee is what? 175. What is the regular coffee cost? So 125 and 225, 330. The math seems fine. Okay, so that's the panel. Let's just wrap it up. So we use aggregation classes to create the panel, and that's the way to go. By the way, nobody creates panel like that. That's a lot of work. Usually what you do, you go new project, and there's many other things you can select. Or wait up. No. Not new project. Here you can basically right click new, and you have your J frame and J panel right there for you. So these are the things. There's a lot of redundancy you don't need to do. You can go J frame and J panel. Let's say J panel right there, and you create the panel from the start, and you can play around it and get the buttons and labels. You can drag a label, locate it, create it, or get the buttons. Let's say get the button groups. You can do that. Where is it? Okay. Probably we're in the label. Let's say we need the panel. We add the panel. That's in the one panel. This is easier, right? Hopefully.
Yeah. You
But
see the code?
well, it's the best, right? But the only thing you do, you just add the action panel to it. So if you open it, if you know how it works, you can go and make action for it. It's not that bad, actually.
Yeah. Go to the code to see.
So let's here we go. Go to the panel. It's not. We don't need to know it now. If you know how it works, let's say I get a button. I click here, and I don't need to do nothing. I just need to write the action perform, and this button clicked. I don't need to really go into it and see what it is. But the point of this is that's paying to do all of them, and there's a way different method to do this. This is the way I did it is not really one way of doing it. There's like many integrated methods. So basically, I know that this is action perform, and just write my action and get it over with. But we know the fundamental now, hopefully.